time for another edition of Toro Talk, as this week we're joined by Mason City Toros assistant coach Marquise Cotten. And Marquise, let's talk about this past week and a really successful one against the Willmar Warhawks, picking up 2 wins, winning by at least 4 goals in both games. It was a great bounce-back performance after a tough weekend before against Rochester. What was the biggest takeaway for you besides walking away with 4 points last weekend?
Well, we saw the boys and we talked to them after the Rochester weekend, and they really bought in during the week of practice, and I think that was huge toward us, coming together as a unit and playing really well together all weekend long.
You talk about buying in. What did that entail? Was that improvements that needed to be made specifically, or was it something else?
A little bit of confidence amongst the group as far as, what we're going through in practice, and just having that comfortability with going through it day in and day out and kind of being able to know it like the back of their hand. And they kind of got that a little bit more with some added bonuses to that play for us, and it worked out in our favor.
The big thing that also certainly helped last weekend was the work of those top couple lines. Cal Levis on the second line had 3 goals. Jack Campion scored twice. And, of course, Carter Newpower, the big story, with the 4 goals last week to go along with 2 assists to earn the West Division's first star of the week. Talk to me about the performance of the big dogs just showing up, because this is a team that's been top line heavy, but adding some scoring on that second line has really been huge these last couple weeks.
Yeah, and, with the leadership group being those big dogs that you talk about, and they really lead from the front, and that's what we asked them to do, and they're kind of doing that for us in a huge way, rather, and it's been working out.
Talk about the work at net. We saw Owen Carlson join the team, stepped right into the action after a great night by Eric Chafe last Friday, 47 of 48 shots that he stopped. And then the next night, Owen Carlson, I think 39 of 40 that evening. Had to be pretty impressed with the work of your goaltenders last week.
Yeah, they're starting to get really settled in and being really composed in the net, which is, making me and Nick's job a lot harder to, make the decisions on a nightly basis. But we enjoy that, and I'm sure the guys enjoy it as well.
Certainly not a bad problem to have. You've got too many goalies playing well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So this weekend, of course, Mason City's taking on the Minnesota Loons. And Marquise, you guys have moved up in the standings. You're back into second place, leapfrogging past Willmar. This is a good opportunity. Minnesota, not to overlook them. They've only got 1 win this season. This is another excellent opportunity to sweep a weekend set and kind of chip away ahead of a huge series after this weekend against Granite. Talk to me about the team's approach this weekend, because we saw it last weekend when Granite, they got almost 90 shots the one day against Minnesota. So Minnesota's a team. There might be some good opportunities to put them away early, though. But talk to me about the team's approach heading into this weekend.
So, we have to look at those things, and we do take it into consideration. But what we're really focused on is having our game set and doing what we know that we want to do with our guys, and making sure that they are actually engaged in the game still, and not to overlook it, like you said.
So this is the middle of a 6-game homestand for the Mason City Toros. Got to be nice to have a lot of time at home for the guys and yourselves, of course, to kind of relax, settle into a routine, not have to worry about travel. Tell me about these perks of playing all these home games in a row.
It's huge, actually. The guys get in a little bit more of a groove, get to spend a lot more time together also off the ice instead of being on a bus, which, most guys like to sleep. Gives us a good amount of time to actually recoup after and get back and focus up for the next set of games or, whatever we have next. And I think it's good to get the fans in and, let the boys feel the love a little bit during the week too.
Yeah, we're certainly hoping for plenty of fans this weekend. Should be a couple fun games against Minnesota. Marquise, as we kind of wrap things up here, what are 3 big things you're really looking ahead to this weekend? That are goals or things you're hoping will continue to improve with this team?
Really looking for solid play out of us, not to really get too sloppy on the puck or off the puck either. Another one would be just sticking to the game plan. I think that's really going to be the key to us being successful throughout the year, is being able to stick to what we put in place to actually be successful this year.
Coach, thank you for joining us once again here on Toro Talk, and hey, we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Perfect, thank you.
That was Marquise Cotten joining us. Here has been another episode of Toro Talk.